and you said they were some of the more vocal, people, who were involved in the training. But when you were in another situation and you read how things were going, you decided, okay, we'll end this right now. Maybe we'll come back and address it at a later date. And to me, that says a lot about your leadership skills.
I never want to be combative.
Right.
I don't have to argue.
And that can happen. That can happen. Like Fahim was saying, that little bit of personal gets in there and then throws everything on you. That's not why you're there.
Okay,
Right.
so let me ask you, we're not gonna have enough time to go through every question. I'm gonna start with Ruby, and I'm not sure if everyone had a chance to do their assessment, but is there something or anything about this exercise going through the leadership as fit tool that you found particularly helpful? I mean, we talked about the surprising, what surprised you, but is there anything that you found particularly helpful just going through the assessment process as you move on, in your job? And if not, let me know if it wasn't helpful.
Well, I found that, and I haven't gone through very many of these so far, but just, listening to Ms. Ruby, listening to Mr. Fahim, and some of the ones that I have been able to get into a little bit. It sort of reminds me of our latest Sunday school class, where we were looking into a mirror dimly, but as at some future point, you're going to see things more clearly. And to me, that's kind of what these assessment tools do. They bring things out of kind of a fog or a haze or something, and they bring them out clearly. And so, as a potential leader, because that's why I see myself, I don't necessarily see myself as a leader, the things that you have to address, things that you must address in order to be a leader, in order to be productive, in order to move forward, in order to get the funding, in order to make a difference, And, when it's in black and white and you're looking at it and you're studying and you're writing responses to it, it just brings a lot, okay, so this is what I should be doing. This is the way I should be addressing it. If I'm going to have this kind of effect on the community, these are the things I need to know. These are the things that I need to be doing. That's what it kind of does. It just brings things a lot more clearer into focus. That's what it does for me.
Yeah. And I like it from that perspective as well. But for me, just a little bit more, urbane. It's like I've been in a position of trust and in a position of leadership all my life. Whether that's somebody trusting you or just random people talking to you about their issues, and you're like, why? But and what happens is, I found myself on that road, and it's like I'm the one who's always giving the test. I'm the one who's always presenting the assessments. And what an exercise like this does is it brings into focus that, yeah, you're good and you're talented, but there are some structured lessons for you, right, that'll take what you have out of the maybe this will work to now you have a consistent pattern for making adjustments, if that makes sense. So it's like as a barber, right, you can be good naturally. I was good naturally. I never take lessons, right? But once I got old enough to go to school, it's like, now there was no longer a good day or an off day. It was like, no, I can reproduce this outcome every time because it has a structure. So what I liked about it was it kind of just picked apart. Well, now I'm on the opposite side. It's like you're getting the test now. and then, I wanted to lie on some of the questions. Like, yeah, I want all the fly answers, right? Because I'm good, I'm confident, I'm excellent. It's like, no, let's really think about it.
Right.
Because no. And so once I got past the emotional I'm not super fly anymore, but it's like, but now you know where you are.
Mm-hmm.
And not only do you know where you are, you know why you are in that position, and you have a tool set to make the adjustment, right? Because now on the fit, when I actually went through it, I'm like, oh man, I'm super cool, because when you look at the scale, you got the traditional leadership to your far left, and then you have the complex adaptive leadership, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like a 3, and then a 10, 11, and a 9. So it was kind of, it's like when you're in between, but you're really more of the complex adaptive thing. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm doing good. But then when I did the other leadership set, like 71, it was like
the Maxwell.
Yeah, it was like, okay, you're okay, but you got a lot more work to do. So I'm going. So I really just enjoyed it from. It's like I'm in the hot seat, I'm learning again, but not only am I learning, but I'm learning in such a way that will make me effective, again, not only for my business, but just in my life. Mm-hmm. From how you handle people, how you engage ideas, how do you receive, because as a dad and as a leader, even with my boss here, it took me away. It's like, no, you're not the number one person, right? You don't get to just jump off and because you think you got to understand there's a context here, right? So that's what I like about it. What I like about it in terms of the adaptability and the self-assessment, and then it's a real tool. I've never seen anything like it in the sense that the questions are very simple, right? But if you're honest, right, the picture should match what you already know about yourself. So the complex adaptive leadership showed that, yeah, you got the ideas, you willing to pop, but it's some more pieces that you're missing if you want to be effective.
Right, and I'm just going to add, just for people who are tuning in, so to speak, to watch this video, we administered 2 tools to our participants. One was leadership as fit, to help people to understand if they prefer or if they thrive in an environment that's more chaotic versus a more structured environment or somewhere in between. So that first assessment was to get a sense for style, because if you're anything like me, I have been in environments where I was just a fish out of water. I had good skills, but I did not survive because, my temperament was totally different than that environment. The other tool is the Maxwell leadership assessment, and that is focusing more on skills. So when you hear, Fahim go back and forth talking about these different tools, the complex adaptive versus, just looking at the pure skills, that's what he's talking about. Alrighty, so I'm going to sign off here, and thank you guys.